Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the lands of Aecathan. No professionals, no fancy tech, just a group of women playing an all-original game of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Jeff, and I'll be painting the scene for tonight's roleplay. And while Gwenlaryn may be seeing red and Athgarr may be feeling blue, just remember, they're all just pigments of your imagination.
Well done.
Okay. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love the groaning faces. It makes my night. So, let me tell you a little bit about what has happened previous to what we're going to get to tonight. The Four and Athgarr had managed to rescue their friend Sigrith, the engineer from the magical paddle wheel ship called the Clever Sprite. Made their way with Sigrith and a weakened Athgarr, who was recovering from, well, being dead, back to the tavern, where they were able to meet with the captain of the Clever Sprite and set up camp in the attic of the tavern for the evening. After a night's sleep, Athgarr seemed pretty much back to his old self, and everyone traveled to the docks to the Clever Sprite, where the captain agreed to ferry everyone over to the island that houses the Fairy Sanctum, which was your next stop. Upon arrival, you checked in to the inn on the grounds. The Traveler's Respite. See, I remembered how to say it. Aren't you proud of me?
I am. This is growth.
Yes. Well, this is surrender. And then traveled to the Artist's Temple, where you talked to Master Boffin, who is the High Priest of Dressfiend, and Athgarr reconnected with his old mentor, who is now the Master Singer Ranro. And as it was approaching lunchtime, she invited Athgarr to join her for lunch. The rest of you returned to the inn and had lunch there. Then headed off to the Temple of Terrora for a little prayer and some surprising responses from magic. And then you stopped in at the Jape Temple, which is the temple to Costas, who you knew as Sekuthos. Once you managed to figure out how to get into the temple, Gwenlaryn placed a seashell on the altar and was rewarded with a visit from Sekuthos, from Costas in his Sekuthos avatar form. She and he chatted, and she agreed to become one of his followers. He departed, and you then met the person who you had thought to be a statue, who was actually a lavender-skinned tiefling in full plate armor who called himself Master Prank, who, as it turns out, is the head of the Paladin Order of Costas. After a little bit of conversation, you headed back to the inn, where Athgarr and Gwenlaryn sat down at a table to have a now long-delayed chat that Gwenlaryn wanted to have, and Aribell Tasha and Zorith headed off to investigate whether or not Tasha was actually going to be performing this evening. And that's where we left off. So, we will be starting with the conversation between Athgarr and Gwenlaryn. So, if Aribell, Tasha, Zorith, you would go ahead and mute your microphones, turn your cameras off, I will let you know when to come back. You wanted to talk to me.
I did. I do. So, I didn't want to get into this in front of the others, but I thought that we should talk about what happened and your death and my reaction to that.
All right.
So, when I invited you along, well, first I was drunk, but then after that, when I invited you along to join us,
we were both drunk.
Yeah. And it seems like a really great idea. You know, we'd get you out of town, we'd have you join us, you could go on adventures, it would be fun, it would be like old times in terms of being able to go on adventures together. And there are some aspects I didn't think through. I know, shocking, right? That I didn't think something through. But I didn't think through how dangerous these adventures are and the risk that you'd be taking, not only as the son of the Lord and the heir to the clan, but also in terms of one of the only people I would call a friend. And I know that I have been protective of you.
Is that what
pretty
you call
much?
It? Okay.
Yes. Pretty much all of your life. So I didn't think this would be any different. And it is different. And I can't, as it has been completely obvious, I can't keep you safe here. And I think for a number of reasons, it might be better if you either went home, or perhaps we could leave you off in the city when we introduce you to the nobles from which you'd like to select your own partner. Maybe that would be a good place for you to stay and spend some time and pursue that line rather than taking the risk of traveling with us. And I can give you more information about why, but I wanted to give you a chance to tell me your thoughts.
Aralakas would kick my ass. That is not how he expects an apprentice to serve their apprenticeship. Have you ever known him to hide?
It wouldn't necessarily be hiding. It would be a different kind of...
It would be hiding. How am I supposed to gain experience as an apprentice sorcerer courting noble girls?
Okay. Fair point. Well, I mean, that's not the only option. There are other adventurers who are pursuing quests that aren't nearly as dangerous as those we pursue. That would be an option. Perhaps someone newer at it than we are.
Name any two that you know and trust could protect me better than this group. I'll wait. And he takes
He's snarky.
He takes a drink of his cider.
I understand that there are dangers involved in adventuring. But it's not just that it's dangerous. It's that it's dangerous for you to adventure with us, with me, because I can't necessarily keep you safe, right? As we saw, and you don't listen when I tell you to stay put, which is problematic. And it puts me in a difficult position because it puts my loyalties in jeopardy. So I have a loyalty to the Four. This is my mission. The clan that has tasked me with this, and I owe them as a member of this group to put their well-being and the mission first. And I didn't do that in our last battle. And that's a problem. I should be giving them my efforts, my loyalty. But if my loyalties are torn, then I'm not really giving them what I should. And I don't know that I can as long as you're with us.
Indulge me for a moment, if you would. And he stands up. Stand up.
Why?
Indulge me.
Fine. I stand up.
I would judge you slightly above average in height, yes?
Yes.
For someone your age.
Yes.
How old am I, Gwen? Right now, how old am I?
You're an adult. I mean...
Are you certain?
You know I know your every birthday.
Then why do you assume that you are still charged with being my protector? That was when we were children, Gwen.
I know, but...
If you recall, when you got yourself captured, I rallied our companions to come and save you.
You did.
Was I wrong to do that?
No.
Then how am I wrong to again do my best to pull my weight against this group of amazing heroes who have consented to let me accompany them, you and them? Did you think that I was simply going to stand in the back and lob arrows?
I kind of hoped, maybe.
What part of that furthers my knowledge of being an apprentice sorcerer?
Well, when I invited you, I didn't know you were going to be an apprentice sorcerer.
Even
right?
if I wasn't, even if I was still nothing more than a bard, would you expect me to stand in the background and simply accompany you as you fight?
Yes. I kind of thought that's how it would go.
He kind of drops back down into the chair, just puts his head
sit down
in his hand on the table.
To be clear, Athgarr, this isn't about you and your abilities. I am sure that you are capable of contributing to any adventuring group you join in important ways. It's not about your abilities.
Tasha is clearly in line to succeed Captain Warbender when he dies or retires. Zorith may very well end up being a teacher at Azanor. Aribell is the only child of a noble family in Erma, so I assume you are protecting them exactly as you intend to protect me, because I am no more valuable than they.
Well, see, that's kind of the problem, is that they are all very valuable in their own ways and very important. And as long as you
insist on treating me as the child I was and not the man I am, you will have that conflict, because you have not yet grasped, Gwen. I have grown up. It took me longer than many, but I'm fairly secure in saying that I have done so now.
I know you have. I know you have.
Then why do you think it appropriate to still treat me as if we were children running through the streets of the Inner Enclave?
It's not that I think you're a child. It's that...
You think I'm incompetent.
No, I said it's not about your abilities. It's not.
So you recognize that I'm an adult, and you recognize that I'm proficient at what it is I do. I'm just not to be allowed to do it.
Yes.
No.
Why?
No. Because... Do you understand how terrifying it was for me to sit down with Master Ranro and explain to her that I have forsaken my path as a bard and chosen to study sorcery? She was not pleased.
I can imagine.
But I
was surprised.
I explained to her that this was the only way I could escape. And now, having successfully done so, and I might add, coming up with it on my own, figuring out how to play that very system that was trying to keep me there, and exploit a loophole that allowed me to get out, you want me to go back.
No, not back. Just...
You want me to go back to that life, even if it's not back in Thunder's Edge.
Just...
You want me to play the dandy, to play the eligible bachelor who will someday be lord, and he must have the proper wife with the proper breeding and the proper width between her ankles when she spreads her legs.
Wow, that's really crude.
Well, apparently that's what you think.
No, it is not what I think.
Then why are you trying to send me back?
It's not about you.
I'm getting that.
I just need you to be an adventurer somewhere else.
I see.
What?
And do the others feel this way too?
No, they disagree with me. It's only, I speak only for myself. They don't agree at all, actually. But they understand why I think that I would like you to consider another path. It's not that I don't think that you're proficient. I really, if you want to go pursue that life, that's fine, but that doesn't have to be what you do. It's just that as long as you're here, my loyalties are torn. And that puts the rest of the four in danger. You don't know what it was like to see you fall.
Don't I?
Do you?
My greatest fear for you happened to me. You went out on yet another mission, and this time you didn't come back.
That
I feared you
has
dead.
always been my job. I mean, that's my job. That was my job.
I thought you dead. I feared you dead.
But I wasn't. And you were. So, not the same. I actually saw you dead. On the floor. Pool of blood. Not breathing. Do you have any idea? I had a choice I had to make. And the others were behind a wall with a creature trying to kill them. And I left them without a thought.
So, obviously the end of that particular battle is a bit fuzzy. But there were 4 of you, plus
Yes.
Sigrith.
She was incapable.
There were 4 of you, plus Sigrith, against how many?
1.
And was that one so formidable that it would have taken all 4 of you to best them? That was the tiefling.
Yes, who had strong abilities.
No stronger than yours. No stronger than Aribell's. Or Zorith's. Or Tasha's.
Zorith was nearly killed.
So she took wounds. That's what happens in battle.
She would have taken fewer if I could have stayed.
You don't know that. You assume.
I know that when I put forth my efforts in the battle, it wasn't against the tiefling. It was getting help to you.
And so, for sake of argument, what would you have done if it were Zorith who had been cut off, and I was with you and Aribell and Tasha fighting the tiefling? Would you have just let her lay? If she dropped? Just looked and gone, oh gosh darn. Well, we'll continue to fight the tiefling.
No, I would have tried to render aid if I could, but...
Then how is this any different? This is what I don't understand. I hear you speaking, but it makes no sense to me. Either I am accepted as having an equal share of the responsibility as I travel with you, or I'm just some sort of junior clerk, some sort of charity case that you're allowing to tag along with his betters.
No. That's not the case. You have participated fully, and I don't think anyone would claim otherwise.
Then why should I change that? Why was that wrong?
Because the difference is, were it one of the others who fell, I would have approached the situation using strategy and reason and logic, and I would have decided what was the best course of action for all of us. And I didn't. I responded out of emotion and fear and, as you know, a healthy dose of anger. And I didn't think about the others. I didn't think about what was best for the group. I thought about what was best for you. And that's a liability.
I never would have thought it. The Thosgan has feelings. This comes as no surprise, Gwen. You're not as good at hiding them as you think.
What is that supposed to mean?
At the risk of being indelicate, I'm trying to take Master Ranro's advice. She advised me that I should step back and attempt to observe situations I find myself in, not as myself, but as an impartial outside observer. I'm trying to apply that to what you're saying, but strangely enough, I come to the same conclusion looking at it from both sides. This is a you problem, not a me problem.
I know. I told you that it wasn't you or your abilities.
Then I would say perhaps it is you who should go back.
This is the job I've been tasked with doing.
And this is the job that I have tasked myself with doing. I have gone through great pains to be able to have this opportunity. And I know, should I ever see you fall in battle, I will likely lose my mind. Because
don't you think that's a liability?
it's called being human.
I have worked hard to avoid unnecessary entanglements. It's one of the few advantages of not having family. I don't have entanglements that compromise my ability to do my work. You are an entanglement.
You should have more. I
Why?
understand why you do not feel any affection for the others in the clan. Their leader has been abysmal to you, and they have not stood up in your defense. So I can understand that,
to.
but you should. I have spoken to likely more of them than I should have, and let them know in no uncertain terms that I find their behavior disgraceful.
We didn't have to do that. It's my job to prove myself to them.
But you have. You have been accepted as a full member of the Lion Clan, with all the rights and privileges thereof. And if it were anyone else, I know at least some of them would have stood up and said, enough. This is wrong. This is inappropriate. You disgrace the clan by your actions. And yet, no one did. Except me.
They're guided by Lord Tremaine's actions. His behavior sets the tone.
Yes. And it was made clear to me that were it any other than him, and were it any other than you, many would have stood up.
It's nice to know I engender such passions.
And that was why I let them know that I considered them to be dishonorable. And
Who
that...
did you say that to? You know, that's an unforgivable insult.
Yes. And I made certain that they were aware that my memory is long. And when I succeed my father, I will remember these things. Because that is not how Lion Clan defends each other.
I fear I've now gained untold new enemies. I'm going to need a list.
No. They don't blame you. Their anger is directed at me, and I welcomed it.
As the future Lord, you need to be more strategic about...
As the future Lord, I need to make certain that the people I am going to lead know who their leader is. You saw that I was raised to sleep, to eat, to breathe the laws of the clan. You cannot fault me for following those rules and expecting others to do the same. So I understand that you feel alone.
I have always been alone. I work alone. And so even working with the four has been an adjustment. But I understand that my job is to the mission, to each other.
Yes, as is mine. I have no qualms about you doing your job. You should have no qualms about me doing mine. And I will say right now, and I understand this is the last thing you want to hear from me, but I will say, if in the end my life is given to save the life of someone I care about, I will have died well.
See, that's not acceptable.
Well, I hope it's not going to happen. I hope to die of old age surrounded by my great-grandchildren.
That is my wish for you as well.
But if that is not my destiny, then my wants are irrelevant. You heard Father Dildus relate the information from the priest of Pharos, that we all have a destiny, and we will accomplish that destiny, whatever it is that we are intended to do. And if we are true to ourselves, we will be allowed to reach the conclusion of our own destined stories. If the end of my destined story is going down in battle, saving other people, I have no qualms.
I do. I can't accept that.
It's
I can't
not
do that.
yours to accept. If you can stop it, it means that you are part of my destiny and you are playing your role as well. If you can't, it wasn't meant to be stopped.
I don't know how to explain this to you so that you will understand. But as long as you're part of this group, my loyalty will be to you and not to them. And I can't change that. That's too much a part of who I am. And so I will not be able to give my best to this group because it will always be my first priority to watch out for you. It has always been. It always will be.
It was until I reached the age of consent in the clan. At that point, the clan began sending you out on missions by yourself, and others began my tutelage.
My feelings don't turn off because you've become an adult.
Well, I understand that. Neither
It doesn't
do
work
mine.
that way.
That was why I, in retrospect, could have handled it a little better. But when I marshaled our friends and charged out into the desert to find you,
to my everlasting shame.
shame is preferable to death.
Is there anything I can say that will convince you that it is in everyone's best interest for you to choose a different path so that I can give my best to this group?
You realize the position you're placing me in.
Do you realize the position you've placed me in? That's my point. I didn't anticipate this, and it wasn't until you fell that I realized how compromised I am. And I have never had to deal with entanglements, and I don't know how to start dealing with them now. It's just all very inconvenient. And if they could just go, if you could just go, then things could go back the way they were, and there would be no problem. I could focus on the mission, and you could find your own way. And I would miss you, but I would write to you, as I always have when we've been apart. But I would want you to be somewhere safe.
I, Athgarr Tremaine, heir to the leadership of the Lion Clan and the throne of Thunder's Edge, hereby formally absolve you of your responsibilities to watch over me. You are no longer bound by that responsibility.
It's not a formal responsibility. It's a personal entanglement. It's not just about your position in the clan. It's about who you are to me. That's the problem.
I'm your friend. I'm your former charge. I'm the annoying brat who made your life hell for over a decade.
Yes. But you're also important. And you're really the only one who is in that way. So I can't afford to have something happen to you. Entanglements are annoying and difficult, but I wouldn't give it up. I just want you to be safe, and then I don't have to divide my loyalties or worry about you.
Perhaps if you tried to consider that by keeping Aribell and Tasha and Zorath safe as well, you are keeping me safe. If it weren't for Aribell, I might still be on the floor in that warehouse.
Don't remind me.
What I'm trying to say is, it would behoove you to consider accepting that they seem to think of you as an equal, as one of them. And
I'm the substitute until Araman returns. I know how this works. That's fine. I've accepted my place in this group.
Don't believe that to be entirely true. I think if Araman did return, the group would become larger by one more. I don't want to speak out of turn, but from what I have observed, you have earned your place in this group. And they have accepted you.
They were saddled with me when Lord Tremaine gave me the boot. And when we fulfill this mission, I assume I will take on different responsibilities.
And what mission do you think will end this particular partnership?
The introduction of the dragons,
Oh, so you have no desire to help Tasha reclaim her city of birth? Oh, but that's not this mission.
Well, it kind of came up in
It's not
process.
This mission.
Well, if they want me along, I can continue to help, but I'm not going to foist myself upon them. I think I've had enough experience with being where I'm not wanted.
Have you asked them?
Why would I do that?
Because clearly you think they feel a certain way about you, and given your proclivity for confrontation, why haven't you asked them?
Because they would pity me and say, of course you're welcome here.
Yes, because the Thosgan is a subject of pity.
I'm not that anymore.
Yes, you are. You will always be the Thosgan. It's a part of you. Even if you do not carry the title, you still exist in that mind space. You still see yourself as that lone scout.
I do.
But you're not anymore.
And I don't know what I am.
You are a member of the Four. You are
with an annoying entanglement. I just don't know what to do about you. That's the problem. You're just...
I fail to see why you need to do anything about me. I'm fine. See, listen. I'm breathing. I am alive. I am capable of arguing with the Thosgan.
I know, because I'm annoyed. That's how I know you're here. Listen, it's not you. It's me. I understand. The problem is mine, not
But-
yours.
So, let me see if I'm following this. The problem is not me. The
Right.
problem is you. So
Yes.
I must make the change.
Yes. Because I can't leave.
Unbelievable.
I
hate it
know
when she's
it's a
right.
lot to ask. But surely you can see how compromising this is.
All right. I'll go.
Really?
Yes.
Where will you go?
I don't think that concerns you.
Well, I mean, of course it does.
No. You can't have it both ways.
Well,
Either
mean-
either I stay and you watch out for me as I watch out for you, as we watch out for the rest. Or I leave and you continue on with Aribell and Tasha and Zorith, and I do whatever it is that I'm going to do. Completely without you.
well, where would I send my letters?
Thunder's Edge. I'll get them eventually.
Why do you have to be so difficult?
I'm the difficult one.
You are. I fail to see how this is funny. I'm glad you are amused.
It's either laugh or cry. So I'm choosing laughter. Because this is absurd.
Great, so now I'm absurd. And my concerns are as well.
Yes.
Really?
You would rather words fail me. Me.
I can think lots of words. You said I was absurd. These are
You would
serious concerns.
you would disqualify all of my accomplishments because you cannot change.
This doesn't disqualify anything.
Oh, but it does. You intend me to go a-courting, and to find some nice little girl, and to take her home to father. and to
Isn't that
beca-
what you want? Isn't that what you told me you wanted?
Eventually. This. Do you understand exactly what it took for me to turn my back on everything I have been pursuing? To beg Arilakis to accept me as an apprentice, so that I could exploit this loophole, so that I could get out and actually find my path, as opposed to walking the one my father has in front of me.
I'm not keeping you from your path.
No, you just want me to abandon it. This is the path I have chosen, and you want me to just say, oh, well, gosh, sorry, made a mistake, I'll pick another path. That's not fair.
I've come to see that entanglements are not fair. So the solution is for me to not care about you. I don't know that I can do that. But I can't go through another situation like the one we just faced.
And why not? You are now a professional adventurer. By joining you, I am now a professional adventurer, although I have yet to be paid. All right, I am soon to be, as you are, a professional adventurer. That is part of the problem. That is part of the job. That is part of the risk.
But in that moment, I was not a professional adventurer.
No, because you realized you were human. How do you suppose Zorith feels every time she misses Araman? How do you suppose Tasha feels every time she thinks of the childhood she lost? How do you think Aribell feels every time she's reminded of her husband and her children? We all feel.
I haven't had to. That's the difference. I've been able to do these things because I haven't had to have those worries.
Well, welcome to the next chapter in the life of Gwenlaryn.
I hate this chapter and I don't want it.
And that sounds like the young servant who got saddled with the young lord of the clan. I don't want to do this. He's annoying. Why do I have to watch him? Can't someone else do it? I don't want these feelings. Yes, sounds very familiar.
You mock me.
I'm a bard. It's what we do. We teach through humor and satire. I have one question.
Yes.
Why do you choose the word entanglement? I don't understand what you intend with that word choice.
Well, that's what it is when you have feelings for someone. It's all tangled up and restrictive, and there are rules and things that I don't like. Responsibilities and issues.
No.
Yes.
There are no rules for feelings. There are rules that society places on the expression or the observance. But the feelings themselves? Gwen, there are no rules. You really should have spent more time reading the same stories that I did.
Maybe if I hadn't been spending so much time as a servant, I would have had more time for reading.
I offered to share the books with you.
I had other responsibilities.
It would have been a way to keep an eye on me.
I'm sure it wouldn't have been allowed. It was a lot of work to keep you out of trouble.
I am aware.
It was even more work to keep me out of trouble.
Of that I have little doubt.
I'm going to cause a lot of trouble.
Maybe I should leave.
It might be best. I've been trying to tell you this all along. I just don't want to ever go through again what I just did. I don't think I could bear it. I cried in battle. I mean, come on. I'm supposed to be a professional. This is ridiculous. It can't be borne.
You're not allowed to have feelings?
Yes, exactly. You're starting to understand.
That is absurd.
That's professionalism.
No. Professionalism is choosing to set the feelings aside when necessary. It is not denying having feelings.
Well,
And
obviously, I couldn't set them aside.
One must learn to embrace them before one can actually control them.
If you just went away, it wouldn't be a problem.
Well, then I repeat my offer. I'll go. But then you will have no opportunity to protect me. At all. In any way, shape, or form. If I go...
I didn't do a good job of protecting you here.
Am I not alive? Am I not capable of entering into battle again?
That was luck and Aribell.
That was skill and the powers of a boon companion. That was this odd grouping of individuals working together as a team to see to the best interests of each other. In my experience, that's what the difference is between mercenaries and heroes.
I don't care about being a mercenary or a hero. I never have.
Well, I think it's time you start.
This is inconvenient. I thought you would understand.
I don't.
You have entanglements. Family, friends. I don't have those things. I just have you. You're my best friend, you idiot.
Well, clearly I have you. I believe at this point I could count Aribell. I hope to someday be able to count Tasha. I think that will happen. I'd like to be able to count Zorth as well, but I'm not certain that will happen.
Do you now understand why I was angry with you?
Yes, because I died, and it was inconvenient.
Because you died, and I couldn't bear it.
don't know how to believe you. I
Think I lie?
I've never been able to read you. I've never been able to see beneath that mask you wear.
I tell the truth. I'm not trying to deceive you.
You say what you believe to be the truth.
What else could I say?
It may be that you do not know the truth.
Well, I've told you the truth as I see it. I think there's ample evidence to support the claim that I could not bear it. You can ask any of the others who were there and witnessed.
I saw you crying. It was frightening.
I was frightened.
I don't think I have ever seen you cry before, even as a child.
You scared me.
Well, it wasn't something I chose. It wasn't something I intended. Let's put it that way.
I can't be afraid in battle. Do you not see how this compromises me for the future?
I would hope that someday you could learn to be proud.
I am proud of you, Athgarr.
Not
I've long been proud of you.
Not enough.
Not enough? What does that mean?
It's probably left over from a childhood of reading tales of heroes from long ago. But I would hope that you would be proud that I would be willing to lay down my life in defense of my comrades.
I am. I've told you I'm proud of you. I just want you to be safe. I see I'm not going to change your mind.
Well,
I won't continue to burden you with these feelings and entanglements. Clearly, it's my problem to manage, and I will have to figure out a way to do so.
there's that word again. I don't understand entanglements. I don't understand. I know the word, obviously, but I don't understand how you're using it. I don't understand what it means to you. Because clearly, we're operating on two separate definitions.
These feelings,
What feelings?
caring about someone, is a problem.
Caring about someone is called being a person. It's called being a human. It's called being alive. It's called being normal.
Well, I'm not those things.
Well, all evidence to the contrary.
Well, then I'd rather not be those things. I was better when I was the Thoskan. I could just go and do things as needed, and you were safe at home, and I didn't have to worry about your safety. I could do the things I needed to do without having my loyalties torn.
Certainly, because we didn't live under the threat of attack from the Joggervanans every dusk and dawn.
You
I
were
was perfectly
surrounded by
safe.
people who would fight to the death to protect you.
And I'm not now.
It's more dangerous now.
Yes.
I will deal with this problem I will have to figure out my own way of managing it. You've made it clear the problem is mine, and I will have to figure out how to manage it.
Well, I maintain my offer. You know my conditions. If you truly believe that the only way that this is going to work is for me to go elsewhere, I will go. But you will make that decision.
Fine. Stay. I will figure something out. I have no idea what. I will just have to deal with this problem. I don't know how. I hear the logic in you being safer with us than with those who could not do what Aribell did. But I hate this. I hate feeling like this, and I don't know how to resolve it. I will have to find a way.
If I can hazard a suggestion.
It's never stopped you before.
Consider talking to Aribell.
She embraces entanglements. That's not going to help.
That's not what I'm saying. She is the one among us who has experienced permanent loss. And somehow, she has fought her way past it. I would say she is likely the only one of us who could speak to you from any sort of position of knowledge. I obviously cannot.
Well, maybe I just need to figure out a way to avoid entanglements. And then I won't have to deal with the complications that ensue.
Well, good luck with that. As someone who's tried to do that for years, I wish you the best of luck with that.
You don't think I can?
Let us just say I hope you can't.
You want to see me fail.
That's not what I said.
I do not understand.
I want to see you accept that people consider you worthy. I want to see you accept that people feel affection for you. I want to see you accept that people see you as their equal.
How is that helpful?
I think if you were able to do those things, the rest would fall into place.
Sounds complicated.
Nothing involving feelings is anything but.
Life was simpler when I scouted alone.
Perhaps. But your destiny has taken you in a different direction. You can fight it, or you can embrace it. One of those two paths will be successful because it's what you were meant to do. Just don't spend too much time going down the wrong path. It's a waste of time.
Well, how do I know which one is the wrong path?
You do what we all do. You watch for signs.
Well, I'm tired of bickering with you. It takes precious energy that I could be spending doing anything more worthwhile.
Well, I'm pleased to have been such a help.
It upsets Zorith.
Yes. Many things upset Zorith. Well, I suppose the proper thing to do at this point would be to excuse myself. And leave you to your thoughts.
Yes, I clearly have some planning to do. Maybe my new deity can help me. I'm sure he'd have a suggestion or two.
Now you're mocking me.
No. Isn't that what you're supposed to do in times of distress? Call out to your deity for assistance.
You have forsaken Quisfa.
Not forsaken, just added to my areas of interest. Obviously, I'm still very much involved with the natural world, but you have to admit that there is a strong streak of mischief in my past, and I'm sure in my future.
Insight check. Probably not.
Probably not.
No, 16. Where have you gone while I was with the Master Singer?
Where have I gone? You know of the adventures we've had.
No. Since we left for lunch, what have you been doing?
I told you, didn't I?
You did not.
That we ran into Zakuthos?
Oh, yes. Oh, gods.
See?
Oh, gods.
He's my new bestie. A true kindred spirit. He was so amused by the prank that I pulled when we were in Thunder's Edge. You remember?
Yes.
uh,
I remember the tongue lashing I received from my father.
oh, he would have received one anyway. He's always looking for an excuse to pontificate.
Yes,
at least
but
we gave him something
usually-
interesting to talk about. He'll have conniptions for months thinking about the possibility of all of the poor matches you could make as you're out here on your own. Does he even know that you're out here with us? With me?
I couldn't say.
What if Arelakis told him?
I don't see that happening. I'm certain that he told Father that I have begun an apprenticeship with him, and as is standard, he has sent me off to practice my skills. Beyond that, I doubt that he would say much.
And you don't think that your father might suspect that you're with me? Given our background?
I'm certain it gives him nightmares.
Then my job here is done. You can't blame me for wanting to get a little back when it comes to your father. He certainly gave me enough nightmares through the years.
I suppose not. I will admit I'm happier not being within earshot.
Understandably so. Well, I have much to think about. Plans to make.
Clearly. Well, I will leave you to it.
You could just stay and court the noble ladies. Fulfill that destiny. Your father would be thrilled.
I've not yet met... Well, I take that back. I have in my life only met one noble woman who could hold more than 3 thoughts at a time in her head. We're traveling with
Aribell?
her. Yes.
Well, she has connections in the city that may... Perhaps you'll find one and fall head over heels and live out your romantic ideals and make your father proud. And I won't have to worry about you at all. Because you'll stay in the city and live the life of a pampered lord. I would know exactly where to send my letters.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps I will. I suppose we'll find out.
Just keep an open mind. And
I will
try to do the same.
I will if you will.
If I can see a way that you can stay without the issue of the entanglements, then I would be happy to have you along. I just don't know how to manage that fear that this might happen again.
Well, the solution, one solution is... Well, it seems clear to me, although I'm certain you would see it as many times worse. Open yourselves up to your companions. And
How does that solve the problem?
Because if you have entanglements with them as well, then you are equally concerned with all of us. And as a member of an adventuring team, that is appropriate. Well,
Because then instead of one entanglement, I would have multiple entanglements. This does not seem like the solution that will lead to fewer problems. This is very messy and complicated.
emotions always are. Have you never listened to the ballads?
Those sappy things?
They are all expressions of people grappling with, as you put it, entanglements of one type or another.
But they're also pathetic. Wow, my life is so hard. My love is gone. Like, that's freedom. That's opportunity.
So, well, there you have it. All I need to do is die and not come back, and then your entanglement issues are solved. I'll see to that in the morning.
I could just kill you now.
You could. Well, you're welcome to try.
It's rather tempting.
Athgarr stands up, shaking his head. I hope at some point you see the hypocrisy in all of this. And he turns and walks up the stairs.
Well, that went well. I order another round of drinks.
All right. Okay. We can bring everybody else back in now. All right. While that conversation was happening, Aribell, Tasha, and Zorith, you were heading out to see what the status of Tasha's request to perform the Lost Guardians of Aecathan for the members and students at the Sanctum was. So let's go ahead and move to that. Where are you going?
The Temple of Dressbean.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Go back and see Master Boffin.
All right. You make your way there. Campus is mostly empty right now because classes are in session. And you get there. You walk in, again, beautiful temple on the outside. On the inside, it almost looks like a museum. There's sculpture and paintings and tapestries, just all different representations of art all over the place. You do not see Master Boffin. However, you do see the Master Singer.
What was her name again?
Joylena Ranro. So,
Ranro.
Master Singer Ranro.
Master Singer Ranro. How are you doing this afternoon?
Oh, quite well, thank you. I had a very interesting lunch with Athgarr. He speaks quite highly of you three.
Well, we are rather fond of Athgarr as well.
Good,
He's-
then maybe you can help him not be an idiot.
That's what we've been
Could-
doing since we met him.
Could you give me some examples?
It would be breaking confidence for me to say anything too specific.
Okay.
But he is still seeing many things through the lens of his childhood. And that needs to stop as quickly as possible.
I agree with that.
I believe dying helped,
I believe it may have, yes.
but he still has a ways to go.
Well, he needed to get away from home to actually grow a little bit.
Oh, agreed. I am quite amazed that he managed to figure out how to do it, although I am not terribly pleased at the method he chose. I understand it.
Agreed.
I am hoping that he will put this choice aside and return to his studies as soon as possible.
So, no sorcery.
I do not believe his destiny is to be a sorcerer. Now,
Agreed.
I will not deny that this experience will certainly open his eyes to things that he would not have experienced had he remained solely in the path of the bard. I look forward to hearing stories at some point of how he deals with the warping effects of magic that sorcerers encounter.
Well, it depends on how far he goes, right? At lower levels, it doesn't have the same issues, right, Tori?
Not as many.
Well, then I was going to respond, but if we have a sorcerer here, then you would know far better than I.
It happens less.
Well, then I shall simply hope for some disturbing, perhaps highly inconvenient, but nothing permanently disfiguring events.
We did spend some time with Athgarr in the Everwood, so we've had a little bit of fun with weird magic anyway.
I have always wanted to spend some time there, but I've never seemed to find the opportunity.
It was rather wild.
That is my understanding, yes.
Yes.
So,
We saw blue tigers and
Yellow bears.
bushes that were sentient and moved about of their own volition.
oh. Well, I was going to say it was my understanding that most flora is sentient in some way, but not ambulatory. Interesting. Well, it's on my list of things to do before I leave this world. But I'm sure you didn't come here to listen to me expound on my bucket list. What can I do for you?
Well, I was coming to look for Master Boffin to see if my request to perform this evening had been agreed upon.
Oh, yes. He spoke to the High Curate, and you have been added on as a coda of sorts to tonight's assembly.
Oh, all right. Where will the assembly be?
In the Citadel.
Oh, all right. What time should we be there?
The assembly usually starts approximately an hour after dinner is generally finished. We don't have a set time because, well, as you know, everyone's internal hunger clock works on a slightly different schedule. So we try not to force the students to eat exactly at the same time, but most of them generally eat around the same period, and about an hour after that, you'll hear the bells. Lady Aribell can identify the bells, I'm certain, as this is a bi-weekly occurrence. It's fortunate that we are having assembly this evening, therefore it's very easy for her to add you in. It will also be quite interesting for me and for my singers to hear it performed by the Creator. This will give me insight in how to better shape the chorale performance that we're working on. I wish that we were at a point where we could perform it for you, but they're not there yet.
Well, it takes time. I understand.
Yes. But
So-
yes, have you... I know that Lady Aribell has, and I believe that you were here for a short time. I seem to recall.
Really, just a day or two.
Oh, yes, you're testing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Lady Aribell, please feel free to take them to the Citadel and show them, especially show Lady Tasha the space. And
That would be wonderful.
yes, it is a little intimidating, but trust me when I say the acoustics are nigh unto as perfect as Master Boffin and I could arrange.
Ooh, that sounds nice. I mostly just sing in taverns, so that would be
Well, this will be a different experience.
yes.
The wonderful thing about the acoustics in the Citadel is that you can whisper on stage, and it will still be heard by even those hard of hearing in the back row of the third balcony.
Ooh.
So don't swear when you get up there, Tasha.
Unless you want everyone to hear you, which is, of course, your purview as a performer.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Well, I guess we'll be off and we'll get out of
will
your hair.
Will she be performing her one song or a medley?
Just the song.
Okay.
Just the one song.
Perfect.
You will be the closing hymn, as it were.
Oh, thank you. All right. We'll go check out the Citadel then. Thank you.
All right.
And
I look forward to your performance this evening.
thank you.
Take them to the Citadel of Light.
All right.
Ooh.
You are headed toward the Citadel, and I need everyone but Aribell to make a perception check. Aribell already knows this.
21.
Perception?
Mhm.
19. Excellent.
All right. Gwenlaryn.
She's not
Oh,
with
that's
us,
right.
is
She's
she?
not with us.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I didn't roll.
I forgot. Okay.
Let's see if you know this from the respite.
Right. As you're walking toward this building, it's a massive four-sided white marble structure, and the sun has passed its zenith and is, moving through the afternoon. And so it should, you see all around you the shadows cast as it moves to the west, except around the Citadel, there is no shadow cast by this building.
Hmm.
That is weird. Why does it do that, Aribell?
Why does what do what?
Why is there no shadow around this building?
I think it's just magically. It glows all of the time. I think even at night.
Well, at night's the only time you can see the glow, really. I mean,
But it kind of has its own light, hence the name.
Wow.
And so that doesn't put off a shadow because it's always emanating light. When we're here tonight, you'll see it kind of glow.
All right. Well, can we go inside and look around?
I believe so.
Yeah. It's always open unless there is a tribunal being convened. That's the only time that anyone would find the doors locked. So
Them inside into the, I guess, auditorium. Is that
Yep.
the right word?
to the main hall.
Okay.
You walk in and are immediately struck by the fact that this is a huge space. And if you were wondering, were there any spaces at the Faelafiri Sanctum that were sized for dragons? this would be it.
Oh. Neat.
There is basically a massive open space for the floor. There's a stage at one end, and there are 3 rings of balconies.
Oh, wow.
And as you walk in, you see that there are people setting out chairs in rows to turn that open space on the floor into seating.
Into more seating. Okay.
Yes.
So, can I get on the stage?
Yeah. There are 2 doors sort of recessed into the curved wall just to the right and left of the stage that lead to stairs that lead up to the wings.
All right. I go up and I sit in the middle of the stage.
Okay.
And I sing about, I don't know, 4 measures.
As you sit down, you see one of the people out working in the house go, "Oh, do you want a chair?"
No, it's fine.
All right. If you change your mind, just yell.
Okay. Thank you.
We have lots.
But I just want to check the acoustics.
All right. Make a perception check.
28.
This may be the most acoustically perfect venue you've ever performed in. As another space that you know from us having grown up in the same town, the interior is vaguely egg-like in shape.
I thought so.
There's a hall in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where Annette and I grew up, called Hill Auditorium, that has some of the most amazing acoustics, and the inside is basically an egg. It's like being inside a giant egg. And that's
it doesn't matter where you sit, you can hear everything.
Yeah, it's a beautiful performing space. And this place is just like that. Except the inside actually looks in decoration more like a movie palace. Lots of gilding, lots of tapestries. So you have this acoustic space, but at the same time, it's been dampened a little bit, so it's not a completely live space, because otherwise then you'd have to contend with echo. So they have really done a superb job of balancing how the sound is going to emanate from the stage. This is going to be a fun space to perform in.
Woo!
But you are immediately struck with the thought that if you happen to hit a wrong note, every single person in the audience is going to hear it.
Sure. No matter what I do, everyone's going to hear everything.
Not necessarily. If you're in a crowded tavern, they'll be less likely to hear it. But here...
No. What I mean is, in this space...
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what I do. People are going to hear it.
That's true.
No tooting, I yell from wherever we're standing.
Thanks.
And you hear a couple of the guys putting chairs out chuckle. One of them walks past you and goes, "Yeah, they can hear that too."
Oh, all right, I get down.
All right. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting space because the acoustics, of course, are going to change when it's full of people. But you anticipate that it's still going to be a really nice place to perform.
Well, this will be interesting.
You'll do wonderfully, as always.
Thank you. And, do you think we've given them enough time?
Oh, probably. I hope it's gone well.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to pitch in our thoughts this time. Before she talked to him, we didn't get a chance to say, "Hey, don't fall for her shtick." But
He's stubborn enough. He'll be
I
all
don't think
right.
Athgarr would leave without talking to us.
No, I don't think so.
yeah, well, let's go find out, I guess.
Yeah, let's go.
Hold on. I'm worried.
You make your way back toward the inn to go find out what's happened. And that's where we're going to take our break. So
Okay.
we will dive into your return and the aftermath as soon as we get back. So we'll be back in 15. Don't go anywhere.
Woo! Can't wait.
And welcome back. So you have arrived back at the Respite. You walk in the door, and you see Gwenlaryn sitting by herself at the table. Several glasses sitting in front of her, including one that she's currently drinking from.
They're all empty.
Except apparently the one she's drinking from.
Are there any across from her? Like where
No.
someone else had been drinking? Okay.
No.
Don't see a dead Athgarr on the floor.
No, you don't see Athgarr anywhere.
Okay. Okay. Go and walk over to the table.
Cautiously walk up.
Do you want to be alone?
I guess I'm going to be whether I want to be or not.
Huh?
I'm very confused.
It's a confusing time.
Want to tell us what happened or no?
Sure, I sort of won, I guess. So, yay
So-
me.
He's leaving?
He will if I want him to. And all I have to do is cut off all communication with him like he's dead already. Yay.
Sit down.
So I either agree to him going away to keep him safe, but I don't know if he's safe. He could be dead. I don't know. In which case, it's like I don't even have a best friend, or he stays and probably gets killed anyhow. So either way, he's gone, right? So
How about we let him stay here so we can actually help protect him?
And take care of us. All of us.
And
that didn't work out very well when we tried that way.
well,
We can come up with some more ideas.
well, if he hadn't been with us and what happened, then he would be dead somewhere.
Mm-hmm. No priest. I'm sorry, no cleric.
He doesn't even care that I wouldn't have anywhere to send my letters. I asked him, he said, I'm sure I'd get him eventually.
Oh, so he wasn't even going to go back to Thunder's Edge. He was just going to go do things on his own?
He's gonna go do things and he's not gonna tell me where, just to punish me for not wanting him to be dead. Does that seem fair to you? That doesn't seem fair to me.
I don't
And
think it's to punish you, Gwenlaryn, for not
oh, it is.
be
He's
dead.
really mad at me because I
Well, that I
said
understand.
that he shouldn't get himself killed, and that's, I told him it wasn't him, right? That it wasn't, he was all, oh, you think I can't pull my weight, whatever. I didn't say that. I told him it's not you, it's me that is the problem because of entanglements that are a problem. And he said, that sounds like your problem, which I had already said. So he doesn't care about that. So I don't know. I'm having beverages. Do you want to have some beverages? Because
I sure do.
talking is
Maybe you'll make sense
thirsty.
after I'm drunk.
Could we get some coffee?
I don't like coffee.
Tea?
Coffee is disgusting.
I would like an
Cider?
ale, please.
This whatever I'm drinking is really pretty good. It was good when I had one, and it is good now that I have like 4
You've had 5.
or 5.
So
When it's good, you don't have to count.
Well, she is having the cherry cider, or the cherry wine, excuse me.
yeah.
I would like ale, thanks.
Very well. And tea.
And tea. And no more alcohol for her, thank you.
See, everybody is just
Mean.
hating Gwen today.
Nope. I'm actually giving you love right now.
This does not feel
Well,
like love.
I will be happy to stop serving her as soon as the money she has already paid me runs out.
Oh no. How
Well-
much did she pay you?
Why don't we put that towards dinner?
But if she so says, then I will be happy to do that.
I say you can bring dinner as long as you keep bringing drinks.
Very
It's
well.
all good.
Very well.
Cider is a drink.
Yep. It sure is. I had some drinks.
Oh boy. So
Ooh.
I had 4 and a 5th drinks.
Is he coming back? Is he going to swing back around?
I don't think so. He's really mad. He called me a hypocrite, I think. Something about hypocrite. I don't know. He said a lot of things. They were all really mad. And I told him it was not his fault that I have these stupid feelings. And he said, that's your problem. That's what he said. He said, it's my problem. I said, I know it's my problem. But I can't fix it. I can't fix the problem. So if you would just go, then I could do my job, right? That's a win-win. He goes and doesn't die, and I do my job, and that's good. He didn't see it as good. I don't remember why.
did
He said a lot of things.
do you remember if he left or if he went upstairs?
I think he went upstairs. I don't know.
The young man is in his room.
Yeah.
And she hands out the drinks and puts another glass of wine in front of Gwenlaryn.
Thank you. She's nice to me. She's the only one who
We're nice to
is
you,
nice
Gwen.
to me today.
We're trying to be nice.
Gwenlaryn,
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay. Questions?
Questions.
I don't have any answers. I just have problems.
And drinks.
I had 4 and then 5 drinks. Now
Do you-
maybe 6 drinks.
Do you feel feelings for Athgarr other than brotherly?
I said
Oh.
I did. I said I had an entanglement problem. And he said that's your problem. That's what he
Oh.
said.
So
Did you say
said-
entanglement problem?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you say
did you-
entanglement problem, you mean you love Athgarr.
Well, sure. Who doesn't? I mean, he's an idiot. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a
But do you
dumbass
love
most
Athgarr
of the
same way
time.
we love Athgarr? Or in a
Sure.
different way?
Everybody loves Athgarr. Except he's so
No.
stupid sometimes. But when he's not stupid, he's all right. I don't want him to die. I mean, obviously, that's not good.
Did
So
he
that
say
should-
he loved you back?
No, he's mad at me. I screwed up by having an entanglement problem. He doesn't know what that means, entanglement. He said it was my problem. So
So because he doesn't know that you love him.
everybody loves Athgarr. He's a good guy. Stupid, but I mean, when he's a good guy.
I lean over to Tasha. I'm like, she doesn't even know she loves him.
Nope.
But
I just
it's not
don't want him
necessarily a
to
good
be
thing if she
dead.
does.
Dead is bad.
I agree. Dead is bad.
Mm. I tried to
Well,
explain. He doesn't
you-
see dead as bad. He says hypocrite.
Dead is going to be solved by us. We are not going to let him go off on his own and then not know if he's dead. We're gonna do everything we can to protect him.
Right? That's so rude.
Gwenlaryn, do you remember when we talked to Father Dilbus, the short man,
Dilbus.
at
Okay.
lunch? Yeah.
Sure.
And he talked about that we could probably bring someone back as long as it wasn't their time to go. Right?
I don't know. That all sounds really
So, if it's-
philosophical, and you know.
I guess what I'm saying is if it's Athgar's time to go,
don't know
it won't
whose
matter if he's
time.
with us or not.
I don't even have a
And
watch. Like, I
he's-
don't know about those things. Time.
But-
It is pointless to talk to her about this while she's drunk.
Yes, but she gets really mad when I make her not drunk.
I worked really hard to get this way. So
But-
don't you?
But I feel
don't
like we're
you-
wasting our time
Don't you cast
trying
things
to talk
on
to her
me.
like a sober person.
No, we'll talk to you when you're sober.
You talk to me all the time.
I'm going to sit here with you and we're going to eat food
And
and
drink.
we're going just a little bit.
Cider. We're going to drink
Drink
cider.
Just a little
Cider.
bit.
I like ciders too.
And Aribell's going to go talk to Athgarr.
If you can find him, he's mad. He
Yeah, but
doesn't
I don't
his
think he's
room,
mad
baby.
at
want to
me.
talk
Mad
to
at
me
you.
anymore.
Yes, because
I
he's mad at
understand
you.
that. Yeah.
He said, I have a problem. I said,
Yes.
I know I have a problem. You're my problem,
Oh.
right?
No one likes to hear that.
No.
If I told you you were my problem, how would you feel?
I don't know. I would want to know why I was a problem.
It might be
Is
that
it 'cause I'm
Athgarr
drunk?
doesn't want to have that conversation because no good can come from that conversation.
Yeah,
Or he could just be completely clueless.
he's sort
Oh.
of dumb sometimes.
That
Sometimes
is true.
He
he's
could be
just-
clueless, or he could know that you two telling each other how you feel is a disaster waiting to happen.
Could be he doesn't want to talk to me about problems.
I think you're giving Athgarr too much credit.
I think that you guys don't give Athgarr enough credit sometimes.
Well, okay. That you might be true about that. I believe that Athgarr has a lot of room for growth, and I'm excited to see that growth.
Gwenlaryn
happen.
probably won't remember any of this, right? But I
I
mean,
will. I'm
a
good at
relationship between
drinking.
them is going to end with either her dead or both of them heartbroken, right? I mean,
Ah, we're gonna kill people, each other. I
no,
wouldn't kill him on purpose.
his
Mostly,
father would likely
he
kill
seems
you.
really stupid. I mean,
Oh,
sometimes that happens.
I'm not worried about that part yet.
Yeah. no.
not gonna
I
kill
hear
him.
you.
I just told him
Or-
to go away.
Or when he has to marry someone else, then you'll both be sad. So there's
Well, at least he wouldn't be dead. So
right, but if you talk about how you feel and then those things happen, it might be worse.
Okay, so we're not gonna gonna
He's-
even tell them that they love each other.
he's
It's
got to
fine.
get married
He does.
to somebody that you're gonna show him to.
Because you do not want to be
show
Lady Tremaine and
him.
run Thunder's Edge.
It's not. No, that doesn't work.
No.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
She's so funny. She makes me laugh. I
You
mean, I
wanna
would
marry
run the place
Athgarr?
better than his dad for sure.
Right,
But
right.
like,
Do
I
you
mean,
want to marry Athgarr?
no, Athgar's getting married to one of your peoples in
I thought
the
we weren't gonna tell her.
capital.
Well, she's not going to
building.
remember. I'm not going to tell him. He's sober.
Okay.
I remember when I drink.
Do
I
you?
remember I drank 4 and then 6 of these beverages.
I'm going to go check on Athgarr.
Okay.
I
Good
know
luck.
lots of things.
Oh, you are very smart.
We continue to
Thanks.
talk to a
One of
very
my-
drunk Gwenlaryn.
Okay.
You're one of my favorite drunkards.
Thank you.
You're
I will
welcome.
go up and knock on Athgar's door.
All right. As you approach the door, you hear that he's playing his lute,
Oh boy.
but he's like playing something and then he'll like play a few notes and then stop and then play mostly the same notes, but a couple different, and then stop. And then... But you knock on the door, and he says, yes?
Aribell, can I come in?
Please.
Come in and close the door. Tell me you're not drunk.
Sober as a judge.
Okay, good. Drunk Gwen makes my head hurt.
Oh, she's drunk? Oh, good.
Yeah, I
That
think
will
she's
help
on
everything.
How are you?
At the moment, very, very frustrated and very, very jealous of Tasha. She makes it look so easy.
Playing?
No, composing.
Oh, you're writing a song.
Well, no, I don't think I am. I'm attempting, but it's not going well.
Maybe you're too angry.
I'm more confused than anything else.
She hasn't been making a lot of sense the last couple days. We've tried a couple of times to reason with her that the safest place for you to be is with us, but she's scared.
And I tried
Seeing
to...
you die was scary, Athgarr.
Well, it wasn't a picnic for me.
I know, but it was scary for all of us, but she's known you the longest. You're her best friend. She feels responsible, can't you? She's scared.
Yes, and I tried to explain to her that it's inappropriate for her to feel responsible for me anymore. She was responsible for me when I was a child. I've not been a child for some time.
Well, it's not the same as when she, had to watch you when you were a child, but you're the person she's closest to in this world. I mean, we're becoming her friends, but and as much as clan means to all of you, you're her family, her only family.
Which is
Losing
why
you would be terrifying.
Which is why I do not understand, knowing you three as I do, how she could possibly think I would be safer somewhere else.
Because
Not
she's not
surrounded by the three of you.
Well, she's not thinking rationally. All she's thinking about is not watching you die. So.
And she
you'll
kept
have to
going
give
on
her-
about entanglements. And I kept saying, what does that mean? And I got 8 different answers, none of which made any sense whatsoever.
I don't know that she knows what it means, Athgarr.
Well, she certainly thinks she does. Because she must have used that word at least 2 score times in our conversation. As if it was the answer, the obvious answer that I somehow simply did not understand.
I just had this whole thing downstairs of they can't know. I
What-
think Gwenlaryn is sorting out feelings that she may or may not have.
She doesn't understand what she represents to a certain extent to the rest of the clan, but definitely to me. She became the hero I always wanted to be. When she would come back from the missions, they would send her out and tell me these incredible stories. I could think of nothing but, I want to do that too. I want to be out there helping. And to have her tell me that she wanted me to go home was a slap in the face.
I understand that, and I understand you're mad about that, but it really, honestly, is all about her, not you.
Oh, I figured that out.
It's not that you're not worthy enough or not strong enough.
She
And
just
there's
doesn't.
been plenty of fights that we wouldn't have survived without you,
Oh,
Athgarr.
that's kind of you to say.
It's true. And none of the rest of us want you to go. And she doesn't really.
Yes, she does. She made that abundantly clear.
Because she somehow thinks you'll be safer to
Well,
protect you and to protect herself.
toward the end of the conversation, I realized that she is a bit unhinged about this. And
Yes.
so I simply called her bluff. I told her that if that's what she really wants, if she wants me to leave, I will go. But she will not know where I am, how I am, or what I'm doing.
She mentioned that, which I think is part of why she's had 5 or so glasses of wine. She might be on 6 by now.
Well, if she is going to send me away, she forfeits her right to know what my activities are. I
You're-
told her I would prefer to stay. And in all fairness, she did say that you all disagreed with her.
You are an adult and an equal member of this band of 4.
That was... that...
So what you want to do is what matters. No one is sending you away, Athgarr.
And I am somehow being punished because that was what I believed, and I acted on that belief. I tried to pull my weight. I tried to play my part, to do my share. And because I took the same risks that all of you have taken for however long you have been doing this now, for some reason it's a risk you all are allowed to take, but I am not.
Gwenlaryn's feelings for you are different than us.
Yes. And I wish she would get over it. She is not my nursemaid.
I don't think that's it, Athgarr.
What
But-
else could it be?
I'm not entirely sure. So I don't want to put things in your head that aren't already there. But what my only concern, and I don't think you should leave, is that you two should be careful.
I'm always careful. Except when I'm not.
Just mean with each other.
I don't quite understand your meaning.
The others they weren't raised in the same world that we were. I mean, Tasha is in the military and she has an understanding of duty, but you have a path ahead of you that is different than the rest of us. And there's certain expectations on you that the others, that we don't have.
Yes.
And I know that weighs on you to some extent. This is the most freedom that you'll likely have for a long time.
This may be the only freedom I have.
I just want you to be careful that you don't go down a path that will end up hurting you both.
Well, I've already embarked down a path that's going to hurt me. When I do return, I am going to bear the full brunt of Father's wrath. Because I guarantee he is livid that I found a way to get out from under his thumb.
I'm sure he is, but there are things that you could do that would be worse. In his eyes.
Well, I'm sure dying would be up there.
Yeah, and we're really not going to let you die because he'd kill all of us.
Well, I appreciate that.
We don't want you to die either. Right?
As the one who has, and thanks to your intervention, lived to tell the tale, I do appreciate that.
So really, you guys have to make sure I stay alive, and then you'll
Yes.
be fine.
Yes, that's very, very true.
I will do my best to make sure that you don't go through that again. It was not an experience I'd like to repeat.
No. And because it's just the two of us, I will tell you, when that wall went up, I experienced... I believe I now understand what panic feels like. I don't think I've ever had cause to encounter that particular feeling before.
It was very similar knowing you were on the other side and we couldn't save you. Hearing you, it was horrible. So give Gwen a little bit of grace right now as she wrestles with the feeling she has about it.
I don't know how to talk to her at this point. I tried so many different avenues of reasoning. And
you can't reason with an irrational person.
Yes, I'm getting that.
So just give her a few days and don't leave.
Well, I wasn't planning on it.
It
Unless,
worked
of course...
really hard for you to come with us.
Yes. Unless, of course, she decides that that is indeed what she wants, and then I will strike out on my own.
Don't make us have that conversation.
Well, I gave her my word that if that was what she chose, that was what I would do.
Oh. I think you giving her the choice of you being with us or being completely cut off, she is not going to pick that.
That was my hope. It seemed cruel, but it also seemed the only way to end that pointless discussion. And so I, having delivered the choice to her, chose to come up here. And then I sat and thought of what other ways I could possibly try to explain why this is so important to me. And it dawned on me that the one tack I had not tried was to actually utilize my bardic training. And so I proceeded to begin to try to write a song that would explain what it's like to grow up being friends with a hero who goes out and does amazing things while you sit home and listen to the stories. It seemed such a simple idea. And then there was that thing, and he points at the lute.
Well, maybe just start with the words.
Well, the words
Those
I have.
all. Right.
The words
You've always
are
been
floating
a
in here.
storyteller, right? I mean, you're a storyteller.
Yes. But
Maybe you
that-
don't need them.
that didn't serve me very well. I tried to utilize storytelling technique to get through to her, and bounced right off. As did everything except the ultimatum. That was the only thing that made a dent. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, we've been trying to reason with her for a couple days. It's very frustrating.
I actually, at one point, suggested that if this was such a bother, perhaps she should return to Thunder's Edge.
How did that go?
Oh, she claimed that that would be no different, because I would still be with you and still be in danger, and then she wouldn't be here to even attempt to protect me. Therefore, the problem was that I would still be here, that if I'm here, that's the problem, and therefore the only solution is that I not be here. It's very single-minded.
Circular thinking. I
She's
like
a very
it.
stubborn person.
You've noticed.
But she's also fiercely loyal, loving, and protective.
Fiercely loyal and protective, yes. Not so sure about the other one. Her style of affection is usually painful.
Well,
Emotionally or physically or both. Not, in my experience, what I would equate with the word love.
Gwenlaryn's known more loss than most, and much less love than most.
Well, you are not wrong.
She was ripped away from her family as a child, and I don't think your father gave her much fatherly affection.
Father doesn't give anyone fatherly affection, not even me.
Right. But you were the prince, and you had your mother for a time, and then Arelakis and
I did. Well,
others.
Arelakis is not affectionate. Arelakis is much
He
more
loves
likely.
you too.
He is much more likely to smack you upside the back of the head.
But you always knew that you belonged.
Yes, that's true. But she belongs. She's been accepted as a full member of the clan for years.
That doesn't mean that she's loved as you are or was given love as you were. So she loves the only way she knows how, and she's afraid of using it.
Well, apart from my mother, I can't say I've particularly been shown love either. It's been tolerance.
At least you had that.
I'm hoping that when I do return and can demonstrate to the clan that I am not the spoiled brat that I was, that perhaps that tolerance will brighten some.
I have a feeling you will be much more than tolerated, Athgarr. And when you take your place as leader, they'll see you like we do.
I hope so.
They won't be like your father, who they respect and, appreciate as their leader, but with you it'll be different. They'll love you. And they'll trust you.
I certainly hope you're right.
It'll be a different
That is my goal.
era.
Yes. I will not rule the way my father has. I've lived through the errors of his ways.
Children will have far more choices than you do.
I've long since given up hope of him seeing how he might change his behavior. And he sees his responsibilities differently.
He does. I don't know if you'll change him or not, but
I doubt it.
respect the man that you've become.
My elders tell me that before my mother passed, he was different. But
I'm sure he was.
I do not recall seeing a difference personally.
It changes you.
I will accept that as a truth coming from you.
And in his way, I'm sure he's wanted to keep you safe. Losing a child is not something he could probably handle or ever tell you.
Perhaps. But his methods are awful.
Well, yeah. But barbarian, and that's all he's known.
If he'd only read the books that I've read, seen that there are different ways. He is so hidebound to the stories and traditions that are passed down within the clan. He will not look outside that structure to see the possibility of evolving.
Hopefully your stories that you're going to tell after this adventure, and Gwen's stories and the stories you've read about, you'll find traditions and things that have happened and maybe sway him a little bit. But he is who he is.
Yeah. You are correct.
Are you going to stay here and write some more or join us for dinner?
Part of me wants to remain safely hidden away, but I'm going to have to face her again eventually.
She's very drunk right now, so it's kind of amusing.
It's amusing until it gets violent, and then it's not.
After dinner, Tasha is performing at the assembly tonight, so we'll be making our way to the Citadel for that.
Really? Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Master Ranro has used to tell me stories of the amazing sounds one could produce within the Citadel's concert hall.
We stopped on our way back and saw the space. Well, I've seen it, but to show Tasha, I think it will be remarkable. Hopefully, if dinner doesn't sober up Gwen, she'll let me sober her up for that.
Well, we can be ever hopeful. And he gets up and picks the loot up and puts it back in his case and shuts it.
I think things will be awkward for a while. But
well, with Gwen, that's usually a constant state of affairs. So
just be patient with her.
I will try.
And it is coming from a good place, even if it's annoying and frustrating.
I will try to accept that as a truth coming from you as well. But I will tell you, it certainly doesn't feel that way.
I know. We'll be very busy in the coming days, so hopefully there'll be enough distraction. She won't be as crazy.
Well, then she wouldn't be Gwenlaryn.
Right.
right. Lead on, and let's beard the lioness at the table.
I think we were going to try to switch her to cider instead of wine. So
Good luck with that.
she said she liked cider, and maybe she won't notice.
That's a possibility. It depends on how far gone she is.
Really drunk. Really, really drunk. Come on. Be brave.
What's the worst that can happen? Oh, gods. I'm going anyway.
If you want to be a hero, you have to be brave.
As you say. Lead on, lady. I will follow.
That's a good title for a song, just saying. Just saying.
Which part?
If you want to be a hero, you have to be brave.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I was actually toying with something along the lines of, so you want to go adventuring. But nothing's set in stone yet. I don't know that it ever will be, because I can't get the courting the way I want it.
It will come.
I hate it when Master Ranro is right, but I really should have spent more time practicing on that damned instrument.
Well, lucky for you, there's lots of downtime at camp for you to practice your courting. And I'm sure Tasha wouldn't mind you two having a little bit of musical time at night before we rest.
That would undoubtedly be very helpful. All right. We're walking down the stairs as we're talking about this.
Yes.
So, what's happened downstairs while Aribell's been up talking to Athgarr?
Well, Gwenlaryn, I have something important to tell you.
What?
Can you put your wine down for a minute?
Sure. I drink it and put the glass down empty. You were saying?
I'm performing tonight.
That's great. You sing really well.
You can't go if you're drunk.
Why not?
Because
Why not?
It is a really, the way that place sounds is amazing.
I will enjoy that.
Right. But here's the thing. If you're drunk, everyone's going to hear you instead of me.
I'll be quiet as a mouse.
You won't, because you're drunk.
I can be very quiet.
So you have two choices. You can stay here, or you can let Aribell make you sober.
I hate that.
Those are your choices.
Okay, think about my choices.
Sure.
I think about my choices.
You sit here and think about your choices, young lady.
That's what I'm going to do.
Have some food. It's
I
tasty.
like food.
It's tasty. Try it.
Okay.
I eat my food.
Okay.
We ensure that Gwen tries to eat her food.
All right.
And
What
I'm going to
did
see if I
you-
can flip ciders in instead of
What did you order for her?
whatever.
Whatever had the most calories
And bread.
and bread.
They're kind of all the same. I mean, they're generally this, in the same area. I mean, there's the lamb noodle dish.
Mhm.
There's the spiced carrot, potato, and onion pie, and there's the herb chicken with the garlic potatoes.
Herb chicken.
They all
probably.
come
Herb
with
chicken.
bread.
Herb chicken.
Lots
Okay.
of bread.
I like chicken.
Mhm.
All right.
And every time I'll go try to talk to the waitress, and if the waitress,
The innkeeper, yeah.
the innkeeper, if she doesn't switch over to ciders, I can't imagine that you would allow someone to get so drunk that it would be dangerous.
I mean, 6 is a lot.
Yeah.
She's probably had 7 since then, so we're going to try to switch her over to ciders, please. Would you put them in the same cup?
Does she need to be sober for a reason?
Yeah, actually, she does. Lady Tasha is performing tonight, and we would like Gwen to be able to come along and see it.
This would be at the Citadel.
It will be at the Citadel, yes.
Cider it is.
Thank you. The same cups, if possible.
So she pours, you see her pour a cider into a wine glass and hand it to you.
Take it back to the table. Thank you. And I hand it to Gwen.
What's this?
More!
I like more.
And I just hand it to her.
I like cider.
Good.
Gwenlaryn, if you would, make a perception check with disadvantage.
Same roll twice.
Oh,
19.
this tastes different.
This is not the same drink as it was.
It's cider. You said you like cider.
I do like cider.
Well,
Yeah,
there
you
go.
said you wanted more. So this is more.
Okay.
At this point, you hear voices, and you see Athgarr and Aribell talking, walking down the stairs.
No.
It's okay.
He's so mad at me.
He doesn't look angry right now.
He will survive.
I don't
That's
want
on
him
you.
to be mad at me. It's
Well-
not my fault about the problems.
Well, we will talk about that later when you're sober.
Okay.
So Athgarr walks to the table and sits down across the table.
Hello. I've been drinking a small amount of beverages here.
Small amounts.
Somewhere between
Look at Athgarr.
4 and 8 of these, which are now cider. And
For an 8?
well, there were 4, and
Uh-huh.
now there's like 8, I think. But some of them are cider, so it's okay.
I gave her a choice. She can either stay here and not go to the Citadel, or you can make her sober.
I don't want to be sober because Athgarr is mad at me for problems and hypocrites.
I won't make you sober until it's time to leave for Tasha's performance. How's that?
Sounds like I would still be sober.
Enjoy
stay
it while
here?
you have it right now.
You don't have to go to the performance. You can stay here in your room.
Okay.
And
All right.
Because then,
Athgarr gets up and walks to the bar.
see, he won't even talk to me.
He's going to get something to drink and eat.
Just sat down. Calm down.
He just sat down, but he didn't say anything because he's mad.
He doesn't seem mad anymore.
Calm down.
I'm not uncalm. Look how calm I am. If I was any more calm, I wouldn't even be sitting at the table.
No,
I'd
you'd be on the floor, passed out.
Right.
Yes.
See?
Which is, yeah, which we don't want to happen.
Totally calm. Whatever.
Athgarr comes back a moment later with a glass of cider.
See, he's back.
Got cider.
I heard it was good.
That's what somebody said.
You said it.
It's fine for not being drunk.
Okay.
Then I made the right choice.
If that's your wish.
Well, I am very much looking forward to hearing Tasha perform. I've heard such amazing things about the acoustics in the Citadel. Master Ranro used to speak of it often.
Yep.
But I've never heard a performance in that space, and I'm told it's something to see and hear. So I'm quite looking forward to it.
Experience you don't want to miss.
Or be drunk for.
Right.
Which is why I chose the cider. Ooh,
I have cider.
and the garlic chicken. Thank you, Anboto.
That's my chicken.
I'd like chicken as well, please.
Could I have the lamb, please?
But
I would have ordered chicken at the same time I ordered Gwen's.
Okay.
So she wasn't eating alone.
All right.
We eat in relative silence.
Well, I'm sitting in between Aribell and Zorith,
Athgarr is, yeah.
and Athgarr leans over to Zorith and says, "So is it true? Did you actually see Sakuthos?"
Oh, it is. And Gwen is now a follower of his.
Well, that's fraught with peril.
I know.
But given her,
Proclivity?
and we're whispering back and forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is really the first chance she's had to do anything but her duty in a different way. She's also learning to feel her way around a completely new world. And I think she enjoys the, not frivolities, but the lighthearted approach with which she can make the time, how do I want to say this? She's not constantly on high alert. She's not constantly so focused on everything that she's got chances to have downtime. And I think she enjoys them, and I think she will enjoy throwing a little bit of mischief in a different way. Unfortunately, you'll probably have to watch her back a bit more, but you know, it's gonna be a give and take kind of thing. She's gonna give a ration of shit and some mischief, and we're probably gonna have to take it. You're probably gonna have to take it.
I have been for over a decade.
But now she gets to think of things that are extra mischievous. She'll want to make him proud.
And I know the difficulties involved in that sentiment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She also wants to make you proud. Just saying.
I doubt
As her
she's,
future king. As
I
her
doubt
future king.
she's overly concerned with how I interpret her behavior.
And I sit back and I give him the most stern look I can. As your future king, who she has sworn to protect with her life for as long as she knows, she absolutely wants to please you. And then I just like go back to my food.
Well, that gave him something to think about.
Well, I don't know what Aribell and him talk about, so
Right.
just with his little sassy attitude, I just put it back. This is the first time she's ever had any kind of frivolity, and she too wants a chance to explore the world.
True. True.
I mean, Sakuthos taught her how to swim.
Mm.
She's seen water. She swam in water. So,
Yes, she has made it clear that she has gotten one up on me in that aspect.
we'll get you some water. Didn't we take him to get water?
He got to see it.
Oh, we didn't.
Like
we
he
didn't
got to
swim in it.
see the
Put his feet
ocean.
in it? Did he put his feet in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So-
that was
We'll
it.
get there.
So
Well,
maybe we spend a little less time trying to compete with each other.
Have you met her?
If I met you, you're being just as competitive as she is.
Yes, it's called a survival trait.
Have you tried the other route?
What other route?
The good for you, Gwen. And then stepping back. You don't have to compete with her. It takes two people to compete.
Yes, and then it only takes one to lord accomplishments over the other.
You don't have to let her do that. If you act like it doesn't bother you, she will have to come up with a different tactic.
Well, I don't know if I'm staying or not. I suppose that's a discussion for a later date.
All right. I'll remember.
I just eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He turns to his food as well.
I have chicken.
You do. You do, honey.
And you have more.
I'm full.
Oh, I bet.
A lot. I'm mostly sober now, so I can just go and listen to the pretty music.
Nope. You're not mostly
We have some
sober.
time, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
a little
The-
bit, an hour or so after.
An
I
hour.
can walk around outside. That'd be fine.
Probably the students are just starting to file into the cafeterias.
Okay, so we got a
2 hours.
couple hours.
Probably got a couple hours.
Well,
We can go for a walk. I
We
show
can go
you
for a
the
couple
rest
brisk walks around the area.
Yeah, I can show you the rest of the island. We didn't get to everywhere.
oh, that sounds nice. I finished my food.
And plus, this is me as the DM, there's always the option of dessert at the bakery, too.
Are they still open?
You know, they tend to stay open until early evening. Usually right about the time that they convene the assemblies is when they'll close for the day.
Like 7-ish.
Well,
Because they do have to get up quite early to get everything baked for the next day
Yep.
so that they're ready when the students get up.
We could stop at the bakery, get something sweet, make the circle around the island, and end up back at the Citadel. sure Tasha would want to get there a little bit before the assembly.
I
Great.
go grab my loot. And I say, well, shall we go?
Sure.
Go to the devout bakery.
Oh,
On our way out.
I put on my I changed into my dress military uniform. There we go.
Okay.
As we go out, I hand Umboda like 5 gold. Thanks for helping us.
Of course.
I stand up and walk toward the door with the careful dignity of the truly impaired.
We all watch her.
And sigh.
I'm fine.
I won't sober her up till we walk into the Citadel. How's that?
As you think is best.
We'll see how she's doing in 2 hours. She's still going to be tipsy.
Tipsy is better than drunk, though.
Yeah, but
Let's go. And I make sure she doesn't slip in the snow.
Oh, is it snowing?
no snow.
Nope, not here.
Oh, that's right.
Just remember,
I forgot.
climate controlled.
Climate controlled.
That's neat.
An
Yes.
enchantment for the Sanctum that keeps everything relatively spring-like.
I forgot.
I
Helps the
walk with
fairies.
Zori.
I will walk with her.
Do you think he's still mad at me?
Actually, I don't.
No?
No. I
Why?
think. Why is he not mad at you, or why do I
Right.
think he's not mad at you?
Aren't they the same thing?
Nope, but that's okay.
Okay.
It's been a rough couple days.
Seemed awfully mad.
You know Aribell, she can talk anybody down off a cliff. I'm
It's
sure
true.
she's talked him out of being mad. He's still here. He hasn't left. So we know he's not too mad.
That's a good point. But he wouldn't leave because then I'd win and he'd be mad about that. So he wouldn't do that.
He also values your friendship, and if that's what you really, really wanted, he would have left.
I know. It makes me sad because I'm a bad friend.
I give her like the side hug as we're walking. I think you're a really good friend.
I should, if I was a really good friend, I should tell him to go, even if I don't know where.
No. Actually, a really good friend is going to work things out. We work things out all the time.
We do?
We do. You are a very good job of that.
Did I miss this part?
No. You make good decisions all the time.
Lately? Did
Not
I make
lately.
any? No, I don't remember.
Yes, you actually did. You decided to take Aribell over the wall. That was a great decision.
I don't know that I made that. I don't know that I decided that. I think she decided that, and I just did it.
Then your decision to listen to her was a good one.
Okay. But he shouldn't have run off and should have stayed with us. He knows better.
I think he'll know better next time.
Really?
Well,
He just does
Next-
his own thing. He doesn't listen.
he is his own adult now.
He's very stubborn.
Sometimes it takes one to understand one.
I'm stubborn too.
I have heard that.
Mm-hmm. But
But
I'm
at least
not drunk anymore. I'm just sad
You're-
because he's mad and not listening.
Well,
It's because
What?
he's stupid sometimes.
Well, I look back over my shoulder at him and conspiratorially I say, most of them usually are.
You're so wise.
And we just keep on walking.
Wow.
I like you. You know things.
Not everything.
We'll figure out your things too. You've got tangles, and we can fix that though, because your tangles are not the same as mine. Yours can be good tangles. Some people have those. I don't get it, but they do. Mine are bad tangles. I do better without any tangles at all.
That is
Yeah, you can
That
just
is-
do more things.
that is what seems current to you correctly. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's
We
not always
agree.
the case.
No, for you, it's not the case. We just have to figure out how to deal with your tangles.
Okay. And then I'll have her tell me all about what my tangles are as we walk.
Okay.
Bring it on.
I tell her all about her tangles with the guy.
Aloric.
Aloric.
I don't remember that. I'm drunk.
Right.
Oh, the guy with the tail.
The guy at the
The,
bar.
the sexy blue guy.
Blue guy. Blue tangles.
And you know what? I'm actually gonna not just coddle her here. I'm gonna see, even in her drunk state, I'm gonna see what she thinks my tangles are.
Okay. Well,
So
I think you have tangles with the sexy blue bar guy. Because remember when I asked and you were not pleased that I asked? Remember the asking? We just met.
I
And-
do remember.
And you said I had to wait for people to tell me things if they wanted to, which is really annoying because they don't tell me things I want to know.
I don't think I said that, but it's probably helpful.
Well, you could just tell him that he's a tangle and then see if he wants to be a tangle or if he doesn't want to be a tangle.
I don't know if I want him to be a tangle.
Well, you can tell him
understand.
that you don't know if you want him to be a tangle.
I understand
Should
your
want to be your
entanglements.
tangle. Tangles are annoying.
And they're problematic.
Yes, that's the word I used that he did not understand.
I understand perfectly.
You are a kindred spirit. So you just need to tell your tangle that you're not sure what you want to do with him. See what he wants to do. Maybe he doesn't know either. But then you both know what you don't know.
I'll probably try it sober though.
Probably for that would be better. I mean, I was sober and that didn't work at all.
But you were
Maybe
also
drunk would help.
But also we just witnessed your best friend falling in fight and you were emotionally charged up.
Because of the tangles.
Yeah, because of the tangles.
Such a problem.
It is. I'm glad you're tangled up with us though.
Oh, that would be too many tangles. I mean, like one is too many tangles. This would be like even more than that. By 3 more tangles. So that's a lot. I don't think that's going to help. I think that's just more tangles.
Okay.
But I like kindred spirits. And I am glad to be here. I'm doing my job. And it's a good job. I like this job.
Well, we like having you. And you do your job really well.
Thanks. Sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes I do.
Where are you taking us all over, Aribell?
We were going to the bakery, which won't take long because it's
Right.
just kind of across the path. And then we'll get sweets, and then we will just kind of, I'll take you on a sightseeing tour. We'll hit the whole map.
Go the cherry trees, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like
we can
trees.
walk. We can walk 2 hours slow.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll stop at the bakery first.
We'll just
I
get
keep-
stuff. We don't need to.
I
and
keep
then-
peeking
that.
around Zori.
Yeah. And then kind of as we go, like those are the dorms for.
What did you say, Gwen, about me?
I'm just peeking around you toward Athgarr to see if I can see if he still seems mad.
Got it. And I will let you do that.
He's... Well... Oh, yeah. He's just kind of walking and looking at the ground, kind of watching his feet. He looks serious, but... Well, make an insight check at disadvantage.
How about just advantage or just regular because I've told her?
Now, she's at disad because of the alcohol.
11.
He looks serious. You don't really know if that's just serious or if it's mad serious. Could be either. So Zori might be right. He could just be serious again. But you can't tell. But he didn't seem to notice you look.
So I will whisper really loudly, Psst, Athgarr,
Hmm? Yes, Gwen.
are you mad at me?
No, I suppose not.
Yay. Sorry, you were right. He said he wasn't mad. I told you you were wise.
I just nod. Continue to help her walking.
So as we go past the bakery, I'll point out because we didn't go here. This is the Sword Temple, which is the temple to Balmus.
Mm-hmm.
Balmus, is that how you say it?
Balmus.
Actually, Balmus. That's the only temple I don't think we went to.
Yeah, that's the temple to the god of battle, the god of war.
So what that would be the paladins?
No, that would be the battle priests and
Battle
the
priests.
militant paladins, like the paladins that specialize in combat.
Got it.
It's like the citadel in the middle and then the 4 temples, right?
Yep.
Got it.
And the temple to Balmus is a very severe-looking building.
Rigid, lots of straight lines.
Yeah. Slate gray stone, all sharp corners, sharp edges. And day and night, since you've been here, there is always thick black smoke rising from the top of the temple.
And then to the side is this one. Is a oops, can't circle it on Zoom up there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a place you can always get something to eat. See, Zori, you'd like it here 24/7. You can go get food.
My kind of place.
At least bread and sweets. And then let's see, that 11, that's the performer's rest. So that's the dorms for the dress fiend students, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's 2 spots named with, they're in several different spots. So there's
Yes.
a couple different places you can go get food. They're by the dorms. So,
Smart.
and then the long buildings are where like the meals are.
Yeah.
And there's 4 of those, but they're not by faith. You can eat at any of them.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yeah, basically there's cafeterias and then there's snack bars, basically.
Nice.
We've already been to those temples, so we go by the cherry fields, and then I think
What are the fields? The northern fields and the pasture. What are out there?
so that's where I think all of the agriculture for the island. So the
Oh,
northern fields are wheat fields,
makes sense.
and then the other is I think vegetables garden.
Yep. The pasture is vegetables, and both the southern fields and the northern fields are wheat.
Okay. Nice.
And then the cherry grove, of course.
Mm-hmm. Which is, it's a mixture. Each tree seems to be in a slightly different stage. So there are some that are in full fruit, others where it's just beginning to bud, and some are in full blossom.
So I'm going to take like a little pouch or my cloak or something and go in and try to shake some of the trees and get some of like the ready to go flowers in a little thing. Just some, not like shake it past its prime, but just like there's sometimes like, when they're ready to fall.
Yep.
Get a few little handfuls.
Okay.
Put them in my
That's
pocket.
easily done.
Put them in my pocket.
So we kind of make the loop. I'll show them where I lived. It should be over here.
Mm-hmm.
A couple different buildings because it's by year.
Right.
Oops, sorry. And then the Jake Temple, which we've been to, Skuthos or Costas's temple. The followers of Costas live in the Jester's Court.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the dorms has a different name.
Nice.
What do the pens hold? Animals?
Cattle, goats, and chickens.
Got it.
It's where the worshippers of Costas get their eggs and their manure for their pranks.
And also there's a lot of chaos that goes on at a farm, so it's very loud.
Yep.
Smelly. I wouldn't want to live that close to the pens.
Somebody has to.
They're the only clergy that doesn't seem to mind. Because farts are always funny.
That's funny.
we'd end up kind of back where we started.
All right. And
How is Gwen?
Yeah. How is Gwen?
Let's find out. If you would, make a Constitution check for the first hour.
+5. Or check or save, sorry.
Save.
+5.
So that's 22.
Starting to sober up.
That's disappointing.
Yep. Then go ahead and make another one for the second hour.
Also +5.
21.
Yeah, you're actually starting to feel a little headache.
Oh, that's unpleasant.
Are you all right?
My head hurts.
Well, it's up to you. I can make the headache go away, but you know what else that will do.
Well, I'm mostly sober now anyway, so you might as well.
Cast lesser restoration on her.
Okay.
This time it was her choice, so yay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it to her unless she agreed.
And you remember that you can now do that with your lay on hands as well.
Oh, right. Well, I can get rid of poison, so I guess it's the same thing.
Yep.
Check, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
So
Well, actually, yeah, neutralize poison, cure disease. So I'll use 5 my lay on hands. Cool.
Okay. So she just puts her hand on your arm, and you feel very pleasant warmth spread out from her hand, and the pain in your head disappears.
Thank you.
Of course. Are you ready, Tasha?
Well, you hear
Hi.
the assembly bells begin to ring.
Well, I guess so. No time like the present.
It'll do wonderfully.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I would cast Bless on you if I had that opportunity, but I take like 3 petals and I throw them at her.
Thank you. I take 3 petals and throw them at her.
Well, except you don't have any.
Picks them up off the ground and chucks them at me.
No.
Different.
That is what I do, yeah.
I know. I know things.
And just remember, you're kind of a big deal.
Thanks.
As you walk into the now clearly glowing citadel,
Yeah.
that's
Cool.
where we're going to stop for this
Oh,
episode.
okay.
I knew
So
that
we
was going to
will-
happen.
I
We
know.
will pick back up with the assembly and Tasha's performance next time. Now,
Because it's a big thing.
Next
Now,
time.
I do need to let you all know that we're going to be taking a little bit of break for the holidays.
Oh, holiday breaks. Yay!
So the next 2 weeks are going to be a chance for you to sort of reacquaint yourselves if you've come into this story later than the beginning. We'll be rerunning on the 23rd, the very first episode. So you'll have a chance to sort of see how Aribell and Zorith met and got into all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And on the 30th, we will be rerunning the first episode where we met Tasha.
Woohoo!
That's very cool.
That seems like that was a very long time ago.
It was a very
Yes,
long.
well, it was episode 1 and episode 5. And this is
Oh,
episode
wow.
70.
Whoa. That was a
So-
very long time ago.
I didn't know that. We met her that early on. It feels like
I was thinking it was longer that we were
I
without.
thought it was like
but-
episode 20 or something, but
Nope, it was episode 5.
woohoo!
And so we will be back with a brand new episode starting on December 7th. So we hope you enjoy a chance to sort of catch up with some of these characters way back in the beginning. And
when I had good hair. What?
There was a dude sitting with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had my bro.
Yeah. And we will catch back up with this current story on December 7th. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're in the United States. Try to not get run over on Black Friday. And on December 7th, we will be happy to once again welcome you back to the lands of Aecathan. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Have a wonderful holiday.